million that we have minus what we got, so that's what that's for. And then I got two other corrections, 22 things. And so I was gonna see about, just going to approve those corrections, and then we can move on with it, because I think they're doing it next week, but we can bring that up in the meeting, and talk about whether you wanna go ahead and do it or table it. It'll be up to the board of commission.
I think we gotta move forward.
David, I got a copy of that AEO report. You guys apparently sent it in back in May.
Yeah, that's what it's,
Okay.
you'll have to hear about it.
Yeah, those are rough, okay, yeah, and then we'll put that in, we can
Yeah.
talk about putting it in the motion. And then there's that.
Because it's referencing the
So, you heard from Elizabeth Murphy, by any chance? Elizabeth Murphy? She
No.
was. Okay. Well, we might not, well, we might. Because he didn't put the 10-year plan down. So I guess he didn't put it there.
Can almost hear the seconds clicking.
I know, I'm going, is this close enough? Maybe 30 more seconds, somewhere. If you were at my house, you would hear the tick-tock. We have a whole lot of clocks.
Oh, really?
They're regulators,
Yeah.
those old Vienna and German regulators.
That's cool.
And the whole, it ticks all over the house. And on the hour, there's always these chimes that go on.
Oh, yeah.
It's really interesting.
We got rid of our last clock about a year ago. Everything's red. Numbers now, digital.
Yeah,
Kind of miss the old click of the clock.
these are wind up. Art's in charge of winding it up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's his Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
And my wife turns ours off if I crank it up.
Oh, is that right? Oh, I love
She
it.
doesn't like it.
Okay, well, I'm reading this is right at 6 o'clock. Is everybody okay with that? So we can go ahead and start, call the meeting to order. Let's do the roll call.
Okay, roll call. I gotta get everybody right now. So, Ms. Ross?
Here.
Mr. Hendricks? Here. Mr. Andy Lawson?
Here.
Mr. Larry Jameson?
Here.
And Mr. Adam Wallet is absent.
Mr. Gary Bush is here.
And Garrett Bush
Oh,
is
that's
there.
great. Okay, so before we go on, I would like to introduce our two newest members. And that would be Mr. Larry Jameson and Mr. Andy Lawson. Sorry.
Yeah.
I will get it. So did y'all want to just kind of mention say a little bit about yourselves before you, just real quick?
Glad to be back. Hope we can help the community and address the issues at hand.
Thank you.
I've got a little bit of experience with the landfill. I worked 3 years with the trash with the city, so.
Well, we're glad to have you both, so thank you very much. So, we'll stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So, if we could just do public comment, is there
Let me
anyone?
get the sheet.
It's over there. It's on, I'm sorry, it's on.
Do we have anyone who wanted to come up and? Is there a pen? Oh, it's already, okay. Okay. Mr. Franklin, would you like to? Richard, okay, Richard.
That works. As I indicated on my sheet, I was interested in when is the closure date. It shows December 24, and yet I'm not sure what module you're currently filling. We have these charts, and somebody mentioned module G, but G is on the side of the landfill that's supposedly going to be closed, because that's CA 1, 12.9 acres. And what is the status of the amount of dirt left to keep going to December? Do we have enough, or do we have to go into the area that's part of the expansion? It's that 90 acres off to the northeast. Is just 3 or 4 borrow pits that have been outlined in that area. So if somebody could answer those questions for me, I'd appreciate it. As I said, module G is part of this 12.9 that's supposed to be closed this year. In the expansion for the 53 acres from the 42 acres is modules 1, 2, 3, and 4. So where are we? Doesn't seem to make much sense to me.
Teresa, would you explain your dirt situation?
I'm sorry.
Well, I think we'll just go ahead and we can ask Teresa and David.
Yeah, we actually had, the engineers stake out where we can take dirt, where we're not going below grade. And then that's one side of the landfill. And then we also, have an agreement with Monterey Mushroom to take their soil.
You getting dirt from them? Okay. What's the status of the permit? Does
Oh,
anybody,
we're gonna cover that,
we're gonna cover
Yeah,
that later?
yeah.
Okay, then I'll wait for you to do that.
yes.
Thank you.
And also the ADC, doesn't the ADC help kind of delay use of a lot of
Yeah.
that dirt? So,
We use that Monday through Friday, so.
Right.
that's
so
huge.
that helps save on the dirt use.
Has Loudon City approached you on the lift station upgrade across the road? there was some talk about that previously, you might know. They bought that 11 acres for a substation and a lift station. And somebody was saying that they wanted $25,000 from Republic as their share of the lift station cost. That should be looked at, all right?
I know they came out and assessed it.
I'm sorry?
They came out and assessed it, but I don't know if they've moved forward with it. I don't think.
So they've not contacted Republic about it yet. Is that-
Okay, because as we go into the next modules, whether it's the 53 or the 67, 67 is way out in 38, 53 is supposed to be at the end of this year. The amount of leachate that you're gonna generate is gonna continue to grow as new modules are filled. And I'm not sure what Loudon City is doing, except that they had a problem with water in their lift stations, but they are expanding their sewer system to 26 million, but that's not gonna be done for a couple of years.
Well, that's something that we, I guess that is TBD, to be determined.
Right.
But thank you for letting us know about
Okay,
that.
thank you.
So, and also the closure date, we're gonna talk about that too, later on today. Pat?
My name is Pat Hunter, and the question wasn't answered. What is the current cell that we're working on right now? Current cell?
We're in the northeast, we're on the northeast side. I'm not sure exactly what the cell letter is. I can look at your map, I can tell you exactly where we're at.
Do you have the map?
Yeah, actually, yes.
Okay, and I have a request we're using the PA system here for the public, and I'm going to also request that it be used
Yes.
by the Solid Waste Commission because it's hard to hear, especially the very soft-spoken people.
No, we're
Gary? One comment that I have is I'd like to know why were the public comments omitted from the minutes? This is the first time this has been done.
This is what I was looking at.
Go ahead.
We discussed that as far as putting that,
Can we wait?
we're doing it the same way the county commission does it.
When was this discussed and voted on?
Well, I just raised the question on it.
When?
This, I don't know exactly when.
Was it done in an email?
No,
Because it wasn't done in a
No.
public meeting.
it was,
I think if you're going to change procedures, the public needs to know, and it shouldn't be done in emails or in backroom discussions. That is a violation of the Sunshine Law.
Well, it's not.
It's not a
Excuse
backroom, it wasn't a backroom.
because there was no deliberation, it was just,
She's
If
trying,
minutes were changed, Ms. Chairman, there was deliberation, and the minutes are proof of that. The other thing is, on your agenda, the minutes, the dates, that's incorrect.
yes, I was gonna mention that.
The page 16, there are errors in the board member names.
Yes, thank you.
And also, I wanted to ask about the September 13th, 2024 letter to Chairman Waller from TDEC with regards to, is this going to be discussed?
That, I don't, tell me the content of it.
Permanent minor modification approval, installation of leachate interceptor in existing Module G, Matlock Bend, Loudon County Class 1 landfill. The date of the letter is September the 13th, 2024, to Chairman Adam Waller. It's not in your packet. I just looked at the TDEC data viewer and saw it there.
Saw that, okay. Are y'all familiar with that letter and what was done? Would you please elaborate? Do you mind, please?
On our east slope, we installed two. They are temporary pumps, but GDEC required us to get a minor modification, but they just help us, control the leachate and get it to where it needs to go.
That has actually been in the TDEC reports, mention of that for quite a while. I mean, for for several months. So, so now they've just addressed it as opposed to being a
Yeah,
replacement.
permanent loan was actually approved.
Okay.
It was
So-
actually approved.
Okay.
The other thing that I'd like to follow up on are the 11 questions that the consultant prepared. Have they been sent to TDEC for review?
That has all been addressed, and we'll talk about that today. And
It'll be addressed today?
Yes.
Okay. And then the other thing is, I'm glad you're here, Mr. Jameson, because you were here during the Second Amendment contract negotiations and approval. And part of the Second Amendment stipulated that the tipping fees could not be lower than the stakeholders. And we are currently charging Kimberly-Clark under the amount of the stakeholders, and that needs to be addressed. They don't seem to understand, but you do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I think there was some discussion about that and the fact that they are saving us a lot of money with that ADC, giving us that ADC to use. It's a little bit in the contract, it's not a solid statement that it will always, I think there's a may in there. And so the commission may look at that and make changes if necessary. And I think it's based on that, and we can, when you look at the, refresh yourself on the contract.
Yeah. I think that it needs to be reviewed and see where we stand. And what Ms. Hunter said was true. It was negotiated into the contract, but again, I don't know all the language. I've been out for a while,
Right.
as you know, so I would appreciate the board looking back into that
And
and seeing where we're at.
we can certainly do that. But there is a qualifying statement afterward,
Okay.
after that arrangement was, but we can look at that.
That'd be fine.
Okay.
Be fine.
Yeah, the question that I have on it from a legal perspective would be the fact we're not accepting it as waste, we're accepting it as daily cover. So there's nothing in the contract that calls out a change in daily cover.
I can't hear you.
Okay.
You'd
I'm
have to
sorry.
turn on the VA system. I'm sitting in the front desk.
I don't know if these are on or not.
You have to go to the bottom.
I guess it's on.
You can hear me now, can't you?
Can you hear us now? Now, my comment was with regards to the particular material. It's in the contract, it's stated in a particular way, if we're bringing in the waste, we're bringing this in strictly for use for daily cover, then it goes into a landfill. So it's a different classification. So the question would be is from a legal perspective, how the contract's written, this may not apply to that specific thing because we've been approved to use it differently than just putting it in the landfill for waste. So I just as a point of reference, but we'll look into it.
That makes sense.
Good content.
That makes sense.
Okay, so the first item on the agenda is, and Pat is correct, that it shouldn't be 07/18/2024, it should be 08/15/2024 minutes, and I think that's just a change in the agenda and the correction there. So, do you want to?
So I'll make the motion to approve the minutes with that correction.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Was that the minutes or the agenda?
Whoops. Well, okay, it'll be for, we can vote on the agenda. We don't vote on the agenda, do we, normally? But we can. We're gonna vote on the agenda. The change in the agenda is from 7/18/2024 minutes to 8/18/2024
Yeah,
minutes.
I'll make the
And Gary
motion
has
to
that.
approve
I'll second.
the agenda with that change.
Okay. Okay, so, now, we need to approve
You didn't take a vote though.
any discussion, I should say that, and then, I'm sorry, I'm not, I need to. Any discussion on this? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Now, we will go ahead and approve the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
Yeah, I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
And the only thing that I saw that needed to be corrected would be the Lou, L-O-U, should be L-E-W. It's Lou Haynes is the person referenced in the minutes. And you have already corrected that, correct? Is that right?
No, I make the motion to approve the minutes with the
With that
change,
correction.
with the name changed, the spelling of Lou from
Okay.
L-O-U to L-E-W.
Okay. So there's another motion on the table, so let's vote for that, please.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Madam Chairman, I will, because I wasn't here during that and I didn't have a copy of the minutes, I will abstain from that.
Okay. Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Did you want to abstain as well, or?
Yeah.
Okay, are you capturing that they abstained?
Yep.
Okay, the next item is a discussion about the Republic Rodeo, September 21st, 2024. And I've asked Teresa to talk a little bit about that and how it went last year and.
Yeah, so last year we requested to be closed for the day, so our operators, we have an annual Republic post-collections rodeo for operators and technicians to compete and show off their skills. This year's a qualifying year that, gives them the opportunity to compete nationally against other Republic sites, so we just request that we be closed on Saturday the 21st, so our operators can attend the event with their families.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear just bits and pieces of it. Could you repeat that louder, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so it's a Republic Rodeo. We call it the Republic Rodeo. It's a company event for operators and technicians to showcase their skills. And this is a qualifying year, so they have the opportunity to compete nationally with other Republic sites. So we're requesting the landfill close on Saturday, September 21st, so the operators can compete in this event.
That's just that one day?
Just that one day, yes.
Yeah.
And it'll be posted, that it's gonna be closed and.
Yes.
This Saturday, right? This coming
21st,
September.
yes.
Okay, make sure I get that right.
Okay, so,
Where is it posted? Do you have a sign out front or anything? Just make sure.
The event's for our business unit, and it also includes all operators from Birmingham and Huntsville. And it's done in Murfreesboro.
and I think you said last year it was really good for the team. It was a good team building and
Yeah,
it's good
yeah.
for the crew.
Give these guys the opportunity, like I said, to showcase their talents and spend the day with their families, all at a company event. So it was really nice last year for them to be able to participate.
So we need to make a motion that they can be closed on Saturday, the 21st, to attend the Republic Rodeo.
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any more discussion, questions?
Because it's a closure, it affects the money intake, and that's the reason for the motion.
Yes. So, any more discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item is the 2023-24 audit update. And in looking at it, Pat is correct that on page 16, I think it is, there's the board members need to be corrected. Also, on page 6, that
paragraph, that section on future events, we were supposed to get, that is not correct, and Elizabeth Murphy was working on an update to that paragraph. And so the discussion is, does the commission feel comfortable in approving the audit report with those updates, or do you want to just wait until we see the paragraph from Elizabeth Murphy? And so that's where we need to decide to table it until the next month, or do we go ahead and approve it with those caveats?
I would make the motion to table it.
Okay.
And give us time to dive off into it.
I'd second that.
Okay, so that's Larry and Gary. Okay, so any more discussion on that? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed?
I've got a question.
Oh.
So table it till what, till
To
next month?
Next month's
Next meeting.
Sorry, yes.
Just clarification.
Sure. Okay, so it would be tabled till next month. And can we go ahead and approve it? Or was it, we already voted on it, is that okay?
I didn't vote, so I'll say aye.
Okay, okay, with that correction. All righty. And then the buzzard update. That, I asked what was going on with that, and it turns out that USDA is going to give us a quote to do an assessment of that situation. But they're kind of behind on doing that work, and so they haven't been able to get to us. So it will probably be another month or so before we get their review. And they're going to be, in the quote, they're going to give us a cost to deal with the issue. So,
Well, can I just want to ask, well, first of all, those are migratory birds, so within the
Yes.
next month or two,
right.
I would say that they would be gone. I'm just going to ask Larry and Andy, and you've worked with the landfill area. Is there a group that stays here year-round? Did we know? Okay, so that's what I was going to ask, if it's a
Got a
year-round.
question in the audience,
There'll be
please.
some.
Yeah, Mr. Waller came to me at the last commission meeting a couple of weeks ago. And in fact, on a sidebar, I showed him pictures of these birds. And he said they had a black face, which is a non-native to our area,
Yes,
blah, blah,
that's what I
blah,
was
blah,
gonna
blah.
mention.
And that they were going to look into doing the eradication and
Yes.
whatnot. These birds don't migrate.
Right,
They migrate to my dock, in my house,
right.
Can you state your name?
all the time. My name's Chris Kirby.
Chris Kirby. Okay, do you have that
And
information?
they migrate to everyone else on Matlock Ben's house and their dock and their boats and their things.
As she stated, we have been pursuing that ever since it was brought up.
Mhm.
I've talked to a couple of people with the city, and eradication is an option. There's permits required. The only problem, and I won't call it a problem, there's only a limited number that you can eradicate.
Right.
It's
We've been
very
through it.
few.
I've been through it with TWR.
Okay, so you understand.
I know everything that we can
Okay.
do as a homeowner.
So we are looking into that.
Cover the trash,
Yeah, there's permits that's required.
take away their food source.
Yeah.
That's what I was told. Take away their food source, remove their nesting and their roosting facilities, and shoot fireworks. That's what I was told. But in front of our house, the two islands are a bird sanctuary per TBA, so we can't shoot them. But, I mean, it's a, and that, I mean, we've had this problem for many years.
So we're hoping that the USDA will be able to give us some
I know the island.
advice and how to deal with it, that's, because of the problem.
Two
It's-
neighbors have had their roofs replaced
Yes.
because these birds have eaten all of the rubber escutcheons around their pipe vents and their, and the the ridge vents.
It is definitely a problem in that area. I live in the same area, and I witnessed, I could say, you know, I allowed to look up and see 50 of them at one time. And then as I done a visit to the landfill the other day, what day was that, Teresa? Last Friday. I witnessed them in the cell towers, roosting over there in the cell towers, and then in a couple of trees up there above the bar on dirt area. So, again, I wish there could be something done more expediently. But I think we're gonna have to go down that path of doing it and doing it right, doing it by the law, and get it done.
Yes. Yes, that's, so hopefully we'll have something next month.
Has anybody invited the TWRA to our commission meeting?
Not to cover that, no, but we have, according to Adam, USDA has been willing to help us do something, but we just don't know what yet, because they haven't been out there to do.
I would really like to see that come to the meeting and for public to see and hear the questions and get the answers straight from
Okay,
the map.
we can ask that. I'll talk to Adam and ask him to specifically request that they do that. Okay, anything else on the buzzard situation? Daily coverage. Apparently, there were some pictures sent to Adam. I don't have them, but he said that has been, y'all have been working on making sure that happens. So, you want to report on that?
Yeah, I either take or receive pictures of our daily cover, Monday through Saturday, so.
And it's the ADC Monday through Friday, and then
soil
on Saturday it's
over the
soil.
weekend, yes.
Okay. And the reason for that, just to kind of review that, is that's a requirement that's stated in the permit, right?
Yes.
To use it. So are there any questions about daily coverage?
No, I'll just say the pictures or the picture that I had seen, it was from a distance, and the material that they were showing appeared to me to be the material that they used to cover it anyhow. So I can't say that day when they took those pictures it was uncovered, because it looked to me like it had the covering on it.
Okay, thank you. That's good. Okay, landfill expansion part 2, an update on that. I'm going, because this is like breaking news here. David just got an email from, I guess, Lou Haynes.
No, it came from the central office.
Okay.
We understand that the draft permit has been executed by the director,
Oh, okay.
is what we're of the understanding of. And with that, it triggers, finding a date for public hearing. And, probably about 5:45, an email was sent from the central office to the chair, starting to ask for dates for the public hearing. So we're moving through that I was copied on that email. I've now sent that to Ms. Ross. And, so that process is moving forward to begin the fact of trying to find a date for a public hearing.
And now I called, when David mentioned the email that Adam just received, I called Adam and I said, when you get a chance, would you please forward that up to the commission so we can see it and read it? So, but he had said earlier today that they were estimating that it would be the next 30 to 45 days for public hearings to be scheduled, and so we'll be working on that pretty quickly. So,
With the public hearing coming, and once they get done with it, what's the projected time frame?
We're still hoping for constructed airspace by the end of the year,
End of the year?
yes.
so, and then that date that's on the airspace that says December 2024 will change? Is that-
Yes.
Okay.
Once the permit is final and airspace is constructed, we'll see a new airspace date. But right now, that is the final date, and we're walking a fine line.
Yes, 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 it is. I'll be glad to see that change. So, okay, so, Republic, would you want to,
All of our reports are per normal. As of the printing of and sending of these reports, no monthly inspection had been done, and in fact, Teresa had her monthly inspection today. So we anticipate probably getting a hard document Monday, and I'll forward that to the chair as soon as we're in receipt of that hard document.
so the only question that I had on that was the Liberty Tire thing that we were, that they have started taking. Did you research that?
I'm supposed to have a meeting, in fact, I was supposed to have a meeting with Tommy last week. I did not get to attend that meeting because I had a call come up, but I'm trying to arrange a meeting with Tommy is Liberty Tire, I'm sorry. I was supposed to have a meeting with Liberty Tire last week to see, they want to keep working our tires, but why am I not receiving his material on the other side? And that's a conversation I'm still trying to have with Liberty Tire.
Okay, you said something about he was taking it to C&D.
It's going to the Meridian, one of the Meridian C&D sites in Knox County.
Okay.
Less travel.
Okay. So, and then, did anybody have any questions about the report? Did you get the email? Okay. Because I actually didn't get it until today. I don't, so I was furiously reading it today.
I got one question, Dave, maybe you can answer it for me. How much out-of-town waste is we receiving at the landfill? It used to be 16-17% floating in that number.
Sorry, I'm thinking for a second. It won't be any more than that.
Okay,
We're really not taking that much out of county trash right now. No, the WM material's coming from here in the county. No, it won't be any more than that.
I think it would be beneficial to the commission if we had that report each month, how much out-of-town waste we're receiving monthly.
I don't think that'd be hard to do.
Perfect.
So we'll look for that in the next report.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. There were no listed complaints this time on the roster, so.
Not in the last month.
I would like to say one thing. I went to the landfill, as I stated a while ago, last Friday. Miss Teresa took me on a tour, and they're doing a real good job. They're doing a real good job. There's some places for improvement. Teresa and I talked about that, and she told me what her plan was, and I think it's a good plan. Just housekeeping and coverage and so forth and so on. I think they're doing a real good job. I just want to state it openly. To prove the fact that they're putting down rock and gravel, trying to stay out of the mud, is a proven fact. I seen it. I seen the exiting drive out of the landfill is about 18-20 inches higher than the inlet drive, and that's from them putting rock on it to cover and catch more mud. So my hat's off to you on that. With that though, you still get aggregate dust it's still gonna go out in the road. And no matter what you do, if you wash it off, goes out, it drips off the same way. But right now, what you have down there on the roadway is dust, both dirt and limestone.
Well, I was looking at a map of the Blount County landfill, and there's a long drive to get back where, you know, you have a problem with that, and a long drive out. So there's a lot more time to shed that problem
I
than.
think they're doing an awful good job of trying to shed it off and trying
What they
not to
have.
Mhm.
track more out than what's you're having to deal with.
Mhm.
Well, of course, we were just going through the dry season, and then we hit the rainy season, it's gonna surface again. But I think they're working diligently on trying to control it.
Thank you.
I'll just say, I know Larry knows that 6, 8 years ago what it was like driving down through there. You measured it and
Mud slick,
literally, I've
Yes.
seen it that day.
yes. Yes,
I've
it's
seen it rut
far
years
improvement to
ago.
what it used to
Oh,
be.
yeah.
So, for the action items, I have that I'm going to talk to Adam
To have USDA come and talk to us
about the,
what we can do with the buzzard problem.
and I think, and you're gonna check on the tires.
Yes.
And add a report to, your Republic operations that discusses how much out-of-town waste we are taking in each month.
It's not a problem.
Is there anything that I'm missing?
Any action, Gary, that I need to reiterate?
No, I think you captured them.
Is there any more discussion about any topic? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor, aye.
All in favor? Thank you, Gary.
Okay.
And thank you, Amy. Thank you, Mayor.
Cut off now.
Now I'll have to go.
Oh, this
We need to turn off the microphones under what she said.